Alright, hi, hello, welcome back to another video. This time, I have something on my mind I've had for a while, and it's about how not everything has to be perfect right away when you start. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I was recently reading a Reddit post. I don't remember the Reddit post because it wasn't that recent. I don't know why I said it wasn't that recent. But I think it had something to do with writing and how your first draft is going to be not that good. It's going to be sloppy, especially if you're first starting off writing as a writer. It's going to be bad. And it just made me think about how a lot of things I've put off because I've always wanted them to be perfect. I wouldn't describe myself as like a perfectionist per se, but I would describe myself as someone who's scared of failing, and more so failing because the thing I'm trying to do turns out not to be good. Like if I fail because I get using an example of school, if I fail because I get a question wrong or I answer the question wrong, whatever, that's fine. But if I fail because it's not perfect, that annoys me even more. Videos and making them has always been in my mind, but I always put it back because in my head I was like, oh, why do I have the equipment or yada yada, and I finally just gave in and realized that it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not gonna be perfect. I've uploaded like, by the time this video goes up, it'll probably be like 8 videos. This might be the 8th video actually, and they're not good videos. You can hear me moving in the background, rustling. You can hear like me when I like pause and swallow because I don't drink water, because this is a whole different topic, but like I don't really drink water unless I'm eating something, which is probably not a good thing because water is important and I probably should drink more of it, but whatever. But and in some of the videos you can hear me like at the end you can hear the click of the mouse when I stop the recording, and it's like a little thing. I don't think anyone cares. No one's watching these videos anyway, so who would care? But it just shows how like these videos aren't perfect and they're not supposed to be perfect first time off the bat. I'm kind of just making these videos for myself, getting better at like editing and just talking in general. I want to be able to talk more, not like to people, but just if I ever do need to talk, I want to be able to like not sound like a bumbling moron. And I think that if I keep trying to make everything perfect, I'm never going to get anywhere. Even in school, I do this a lot where I put off certain assignments because I want them to be perfect right off the bat, but they won't be perfect because I'm not doing them. An example I can think of straight off my head is that like, what was I thinking about? Okay, I might cut a lot of this, but it's really annoying me because Audacity is doing this thing where the little bar thingy isn't going along with the recording, so I don't know what's picking up and what's not picking up. I might cut all of this out. I don't know what's being picked up. I might have to redo this recording. Hopefully not. I just remembered what I was going to say. The footage I'm probably using this is probably Honkai Star Rail, and in that footage I lose this boss fight like I think 3 times, and out of stubbornness I just keep going with the same team, or I don't just quit, because in my mind it's like, well, I can win, and spoiler alert, I do end up winning. But I think it kind of shows, maybe this is not an example of like getting perfect, but I think it kind of does show not getting something perfect on the first try, because realistically I probably could have done this first time. I have done it first time plenty of other times, but there's one instance I wanted to use different characters and ended up me losing like 3 times, but I ended up winning in the end. Perfectionism didn't win over me. A lot of projects I want to do aren't going to be perfect first time. One of the first proper videos I want to do, if you will, is like a video where I'm talking about like Minecraft, and I know it's not going to be good. It's probably going to be just as like okay as these videos are, but I just have things to talk about and I just want to talk about them because I can't keep letting the fear of something not being perfect rule over my entire life. I want to do so many things, and if I keep just putting them off because I'm scared of them not being perfect, well then I might as well just like, I don't know, go roof tiles. There's nothing wrong with roofing tiles, just that like, unless you are really bad at it, I don't really know you can do it wrong, Maybe roofing tiles is a bad example because that's not even a job, is it? Roofing tiles, it's just whatever. My point is for this video, and it's not going to be perfect first time around. It's not going to be perfect first time around. You can't get good at something without actually doing it. You can watch as many tutorial videos out there as you want, but they're never gonna make you better per se unless you're actually doing it. Like, I used to watch so many videos of like, this is another topic for a different video, of like Roblox studio like tutorials, coding and all that, but I never actually did the coding. So I never truly actually got better at it because I never was doing anything. I was just watching the videos in hopes of like, you know what, I'll watch this and it might make me better. It might not. It probably didn't. The more I'm looking at this Audacity thing, the more it's bothering me again, because the thing says it's at 6 minutes and 5 seconds, but it's clearly way ahead of that. So I don't actually know how long this recording is going off of, which makes me really curious as to what's being cut and what's not being cut. That's quite concerning to me. This video is going to be really sloppy to edit, isn't it? I'm going to hate editing this video on time. A good example of this, actually, just one minute. I did a project recently with a couple of people in my class, and I can tell you right now, it wasn't good. Okay, it was pretty sloppy. Not all of us were good. Like, the project was us recording something, and it probably wasn't the best thing ever. It was probably really badly done and put together, but hopefully we get a decent grade in it. I don't really know what I swear there's more things I must add into this video, because like, there's so much you could talk about this subject of, like, you know, perfectionism and how you can't let it control you and all that, but like, I feel like I got everything I wanted to say already. I'm sure a lot of people struggle with this, actually, you know, not being perfect at something. Same thing with the gameplay, actually, in these videos. They're not perfect, they're laggy. And that's mainly because I'm stubborn and want to keep using this old laptop that can just barely run the games. But, you know, it adds charm to it. I think it adds that level of charm. And like, another example of how these videos aren't perfect, a lot of times I just start repeating myself, because I do the same thing on like essays. When I used to write essays for like school, if I ran out of my talking point, I would just start repeating things, and it just ended up making them really sloppy because I just couldn't perfect them the first time. So I was like, well, I couldn't perfect them the first time, so I just had to fill in the air now because I have to do it now. Otherwise, it's going to be late and I'm going to get a bad grade on it. So I might as well just fill it out with nothingness. And I do the same thing in these videos when I don't have to. Let me know if anyone else struggles with this. I'm sure everyone's, like I said, I'm sure this is such a common thing with people where you put off doing, especially when it's something creative like making a video or writing or drawing or music. Well, of course people make music, but if you do that, like, it's probably such a common thing that like you want it to be perfect first time around, but you know it's not gonna be. Actually, using the example of writing again, I think that's the best example, actually, because with writing, it's a first draft for a reason. It's supposed to be bad, essentially. Like, it's not supposed to be good per se, it's just supposed to get the basics of the story down. But in my mind, you know, and I'm sure in other writers' minds, it's like, well, it has to be perfect because I'm writing it, you know. But at the same time, another thing is like, there's no deadline for a lot of this stuff. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect because there's a deadline coming up and that's why it has to be perfect first time around. It just has to be perfect because I think it has to be perfect first time around. But like, again, there's no deadline. Why am I rushing this? Why am I wasting so much time first time around to make it perfect? Like, unless this is my job, I have no reason to make it perfect first time around. And even then, being honest with all of you, even if it was my job, I'm not getting paid. I wouldn't be getting paid enough to care if it's perfect first time around. I'm not saying what half-ass a job, but I've only ever worked one job in my life, and I got paid like $15 an hour, and I can assure you, I did not care too much about whether or not what I was doing was perfectly correct. It was decent enough, subpar at best, but I had no reason to perfect it. I think I gotta, and a lot of people have to let go of like making things perfect first time around. And it's a hard thing to get over because, well, if you make it good the first time, you don't have to go back to it and redo it. But it's kind of part, but especially with, I'm gonna keep using writing example because I really like writing. So using writing example, I think one of the fun parts is going back and rewriting something to see what you could fix, what you could improve, what you can make better. You know, I remember probably about a year or two ago at this point, I wrote a story, and obviously it was the first draft, so I turned that in, and then it got graded and got feedback from it, and then I went back and redid it, and well, would you know, it was way better, and it was kind of fun to rewrite and see what I wrote beforehand and redo it to make it better and more, the word, more concise, you know, add words that I missed the first time around. Well, not miss, but add better words that fit better. But yeah, these videos aren't supposed to be perfect. They're never going to be perfect. Well, these specific videos are just supposed to be me talking about nothingness. So why should they be perfect? They're just me talking about nonsense, and if people watch them, they watch them. Some people can relate to this. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this video specifically about things not being perfect. But it's gonna be like the 8th video on the channel, and so why should I care if it's perfect? I'll look back on these videos in like 10 years and just laugh at how cringy they were, but also be proud of myself that I actually posted it and put it online for people to see. And that's what matters, the fact that I actually did the thing that I always wanted to do without worrying about making it perfect. I've said perfect so many times in this video that's starting to lose meaning. So I'm going to end this video here. You know, I hope all of you have a nice day. You know, like, comment, subscribe, yeah, hit the bell. Yeah, bye. Ooh, editing me here from the future. I was right, this audio was a pain in the ass to edit because it did miss out an entire section. Luckily, nothing of value was lost, but it was hard to edit this audio. But I think that also goes to show the point of this video. And the reason I'm recording this last part is just to show how this isn't going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. But you know what? I had fun recording this, and I had fun editing it, even though it did kind of annoy me that it did just a good chunk of it was gone. I said nothing important in that chunk, but you know, I said things. I probably said something of value. Probably not actually, but yeah, I'm just adding this just to confirm to anyone that yeah, this was a pain in the ass to edit, and that's all. Bye.